Welcome back to Sawtooth Tactical, your source for Second Amendment news, gun reviews, and more. And today, once again, we are talking about ATF's pistol brace rule. And I know probably a lot of people are sick of hearing about this. I'm kind of getting sick of talking about it, but this is a very important thing. We need to stop agencies like the ATF from overstepping their authority and doing things like this, making millions of otherwise law-abiding citizens into criminals for really doing nothing wrong. It's sickening. So we're talking about that today. There's a couple of big updates and things coming that are hopefully going to work out in our favor. So make sure you're subscribed to Sawtooth Tactical, and we're going to talk about this today. So the first thing I want to bring up is, unfortunately, a loss. Because, there's wins and losses in every war, and this was just one of the battles in that war. House Joint Resolution 44, which passed in the House of Representatives, along mostly party lines, of course, while it went to the Senate, where it had much less of a chance of passing. And then, if it had passed the Senate, it would have gone to the desk of Joe Biden, the current president of the United States, who has already come out and said that he would veto this. Of course he would. He's the one that got the ball rolling on the pistol brace rule in the first place. But these battles are still worth fighting. We need to send a message that they can't do stuff like this. And so that's part of the whole point of this. Part of it was also to see who votes which direction. Although the way that it did not pass the Senate, again, along party lines, 50 votes to 49, the 50 were the Democrats, of course, and the 49 were the Republicans. And so really, it didn't show us anything because everyone knew how they were going to vote anyway. Is what it is. The House Joint Resolution 44 was never going to go into law. It was never going to stop the pistol brace rule. But it still is a little bit of a bummer that it didn't pass the Senate. I don't care whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, you should believe in the rights of the American citizens that are our God-given rights. That are, if you don't believe in God, your natural rights. The Constitution doesn't give us any rights. It just limits what the government can do. And the Second Amendment limits the government's ability to infringe upon our rights. And whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, especially if you're in a high-level office like that, you should believe in the Constitution. And you should be against what the ATF is doing here, no matter what party you're affiliated with. But of course, in this modern day and age, that's not how things work anymore. The Democrats want to take away our rights. They don't want the American citizens to be armed. That's it. They want us all to not be able to own firearms. And this pistol brace rule is a giant step in that direction for them. So, of course, they don't want this to pass. Luckily, and I've been saying this for quite a while, the way that we're going to beat this, hopefully, is in the courts. And in just 4 days, on Thursday, June 29th, they will be hearing oral arguments in the Mock v. Garland case. This is the Firearms Policy Coalition one. The first case that actually got any kind of an injunction for the plaintiffs in that case. They are asking for injunctive relief for the entire country, blanket immunity for everyone. While this works itself out in court, hopefully they do get that. It's cool that all these injunctions were won and that members of these different organizations are covered under these injunctions. But at the same time, I don't believe that you should have to pay to play, that you should have to be supporting a gun rights organization in order to be protected against an unconstitutional rule. It just shouldn't be that way. There shouldn't be two classes of citizens that, some have these rights and some don't. That's not the way our country was meant to be. And again, and I know I'm going to get this in the comments a zillion times, ATF does not make laws. I am totally aware of that. The rulemaking process that they use is to reinterpret existing law, meaning the Gun Control Act and the National Firearms Act, and, basically redefine what a rifle is in order to make everyone's pistols into SBRs. But as you know, my SBR identifies as a pistol. All of them. At this point, at least. We'll see. Maybe in the future, I might SBR some of these. Something I've been thinking about for a long time before this pistol brace rule ever came about. I wanted to SBR my 11.5-inch 5.56 and my 300 blackout. This rule kind of made me not want to do that anymore. But at the same time, I'd like to bring them back out on the channel. I've got tons of videos planned with those guns that I want to bring you guys. But anyway, the 29th of June, they will be hearing arguments in that case. And so even with these injunctions and stuff, like I've always said, they are very temporary. Injunctions don't just last forever. It's just for while the court case is working itself through the system, through the process. And that process is about to get underway in a very real way just later on this week, which I think is very exciting. I think, they don't just hand out injunctions all willy-nilly. That's something that, you have to be able to show that you have a good chance of winning the case on the merits of your argument. And so the judges in all of these cases believe that that there's a good chance that we will win and the ATF will lose. And so that does bode well. We'll see what happens. Crazier things have happened than us not winning this kind of stuff. But if everything goes the way it should, there is no possible way, in my opinion, that the ATF can logically convince a judge or a panel of judges that these firearms that have been perfectly legal and unregulated for so long are such a problem that we need to either make everyone into felons or create a gun registry as our only two options, or people have destroy their own firearms or turn them in, stuff like that. To me, that's just absolutely so ridiculous, as I'm sure it is to many of you guys as well. But of course, many of us are firearms enthusiasts, so of course it's ridiculous to us. Hopefully, legal scholars, these judges, see things the same way we do. We will see. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens. I knew that we couldn't really count on the legislative branch of our government to take care of this. Maybe the judicial branch will be able to. We can all hope and pray. Let's see what happens. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to Sawtooth Tactical. Give me one of those thumbs ups. Share this video with people that need to get this information. And leave me comments. Tell me what you think about all this. Give me your prediction. Are we gonna win the FPC case, Mock v. Garland? Is this all gonna go away? And this whole stupid thing we've been talking about for all these months was pointless? And we can all go back to shooting our AR pistols with braces on them? Or are we gonna lose? And everybody's gonna have SBRs, whether legal or not. Tell me what you think down below. I love to hear from you guys, and I answer every comment. From Sawtooth Tactical, stay strapped or get clapped.